Imagine being left for dead on a frozen, barren planet, 140 million miles away from Earth. There is no oxygen, no water, no food growing in the toxic soil, and absolutely no way to communicate with anyone. Your crew thinks you're dead, and the next manned mission to this planet won't arrive for another 4 years. Your spacesuit is leaking, your habitat is fragile, and you are completely, utterly alone in the silent vacuum of space. Welcome back to the channel today. Most thrilling science fiction survival stories ever written. The Martian by Andy Weir. Since you absolutely loved our breakdown of Project Hail Mary, it's time to explore the masterpiece that started it all. This is not just a story about technology and space. It is a masterclass in human resilience, dark humor, and the raw will to survive against impossible odds. Let's step onto the red sands of Mars.
Our protagonist is Mark Watney, an astronaut, botanist, and mechanical engineer. He is part of the Ares 3 mission, an elite team of 6 astronauts sent to explore the surface of Mars. They are stationed in a specialized artificial habitat called the HAB. Everything is going perfectly according to plan until Sol 6, which means the 6th Martian day of their mission. Suddenly, a massive, violent dust storm hits their landing site. The winds are so fierce that NASA orders an immediate evacuation. As the crew rushes through the blinding storm toward their escape vehicle, the MAV, a large communication antenna, tears loose from the habitat. It hurtles through the air and spears directly into Mark Watney. The brutal impact rips his biomonitor antenna completely desperately
out,
search for him,
but with his
biomonitor
dust
showing 0 vital signs and the escape ship on the verge of tipping over in the heavy winds. The mission commander makes the heartbreaking decision to launch. They leave Mars, leaving him behind, believing Mark Watney is dead. But Mark is not dead. He wakes up hours after the storm has passed. The very antenna that stabbed him had punctured his suit, but miraculously his own clotted blood sealed the breach, saving him from suffocating in the thin Martian atmosphere. He limps back into the empty, cold HAB, stitches up his own wound, and realizes the terrifying truth: he is completely stranded. Mark immediately takes inventory of his survival chances. The HAB is designed to last only 30 days. The next mission, Ares 4, will land at a completely different site called Schiaparelli Crater, which is over 2,000 miles away, and they won't arrive for another 4 years. He has enough packaged food to last him about a year if he rations it strictly. Instead of panicking or giving up, Mark decides to face the planet head-on. He decides to science the hell out of this problem. As a botanist, his first major challenge is food. He needs to find a way to grow crops on a planet where nothing lives. He clears out a large section inside the pressurized HAB, spreads sterile Martian dirt across the floor, and mixes it with Earth soil and his crew's dehydrated waste to create fertile fertilizer. He cuts up a small supply of raw potatoes that were meant for a Thanksgiving meal and plants them. But plants need massive amounts of water, and Mark only has a limited supply. To solve this, he undertakes a highly dangerous chemical process. He takes unused hydrazine fuel from the descent stage of the rocket, decomposes it into nitrogen and hydrogen, and burns the hydrogen in a controlled environment to create water. One wrong spark, and he will blow the entire habitat into pieces. After a few terrifying near misses and an accidental explosion that almost kills him, he successfully creates water, and his potato plants begin to sprout. Mark Watney becomes the first person to ever farm on Mars. Meanwhile, back on Earth, NASA satellite analysts notice something strange in recent images of the Ares 3 landing site. The solar panels are clean, and equipment has been moved. NASA realizes with absolute shock that Mark Watney is alive. However, the director of NASA, Teddy Sanders, decides not to tell the Ares 3 crew, who are currently on their long journey back to Earth aboard a massive spacecraft called the Hermes. He fears that the guilt and distraction would endanger their return trip. Mark's next goal is to find a way to talk to Earth. He remembers that a long time ago, in 1997, NASA sent a robotic rover called Pathfinthe to Mars, which eventually broke down. He takes a specialized rover vehicle from the hab, modifies it to survive a long journey, and drives out into the Martian desert to find Pathfinder. After days of navigating the dangerous terrain, he digs up the